One of the biggest problems that I have with the modern day consoles, PlayStation 5, the Xbox Series consoles, is how difficult they have made it for us content creators to capture audio when gaming with a wireless gaming headset. If your wireless gaming headset uses something like a USB receiver or transmitter, and you plug this into your console, you cannot record audio using a capture card like that of Elgato's, like the HD60, HD60S Pluses, what have you. Same thing goes for when you're using wired USB headsets. The good news is I found a workaround. The bad news is that it is quite expensive. But the good news on top of that is that in acquiring all the equipment that you need to pull this off, you're gonna end up with a pretty solid audio setup. First things first, what you need to do is that you are gonna have to route your audio from any console that you're using from the monitor that you're playing on. And in order to do that, all you gotta do is simple. And by the way, I think I forgot to mention, this setup of mine heavily incorporates Elgato's Wavelength software. Anyways, we've got a aux cord Y splitter coming from my monitor. This is my setup, okay? So I have a Y splitter aux cord that has two outs going out. One of them goes to my Creative Labs Pebble B3 speakers, and then the other one goes into the line-in port of my motherboard. And I've covered this already in a separate video on how to get PS5 integrated into Wavelength. All right, but I'll just go through the steps again. So it goes from the monitor to the line-in port of the motherboard, and then from there you add the line-in channel into Wavelength as an input. And then that input is now going to output via the monitor mix, which is what you're going to hear in your headphones, and the stream mix, which is what your stream or your recording software will pick up, okay? To use Wavelength, you're going to have to get yourself the Elgato Wave 3 microphone or the Elgato Wave XLR audio interface, depending on what kind of mic you use. Both of them work with the Wavelength software. You got Wavelength set up and you're good to go. Now we need to get the audio from Wavelength to a headset that is wireless. And for that, I went ahead and picked up the Arctis Nova Pro Wireless gaming headset. This headset is $349.99. This is a very, very, very expensive gaming headset. Anyways, this headset comes with a DAC. The DAC has a line-in port on the back of it, which means that anything you hook up to that, any audio going into the line-in port, the DAC will transmit wirelessly to the headset itself. The key here is that we're keeping everything out of USB and strictly analog, because again, if any USB audio was involved with this process and this setup, the PlayStation 5 would send all audio out via USB and no audio out via HDMI, and we would have a problem because again, the PlayStation 5 is transmitting audio via HDMI to the monitor that I'm playing at, and I have that monitor putting the audio out via those aux cords at the back that I have connected with a Y splitter. So once I've got that set up, my specific setup is this. It goes from the monitor to the PC to Wavelength, Wavelength running via the Wave XLR. The Wave XLR has an headphone port, okay? A headphone port, we'll just think of it as an audio out port because that's literally what it is. The audio out port goes into the line-in port of my Nova Pro Wireless DAC. That's a lot, right? And then from there, the audio goes straight to the headset, and I'm able to 100% verified record gaming audio and footage on Elgato's 4K utility capture software because I have the HD60S Plus. I've used it for streams already. I've been able to successfully stream via OBS using the same capture card and the Elgato software. I get clean audio, great audio, no interference, no buzzing, no hums, nothing crazy. It sounds great and it works great, but let me do the math here. The Wave XLR is $160. The Elgato Wave 3 is $160. So one way or the other, you're spending $160. One gives you the microphone and the ability to use Wavelength, and you're good to go. The other one, if you're going to use an XLR microphone, you have to get that plus the cost of your microphone, all right? Which in my instance, or in my case, is the Rode Procaster, which is $180. So 160 plus 180 is 200. Oh my God, this is so hard apparently. So $340. All right, for the Wave XLR and the Procaster, that's $340, and then an additional $350 for the Nova Pro Wireless gaming headset by SteelSeries, which is amazing, by the way. So 360 plus 350, that's 660, that's $710 to execute this setup. I don't know if that's worth it to you. I don't know if it's worth it to me. The only reason I have this equipment and this gear is because I review this kind of equipment and gear. So naturally I'm going to end up with it, right? But it doesn't have to be just the Nova Pro Wireless. You can get any wireless gaming headset so long as it doesn't use a USB transmitter and instead has a DAC like the one that comes with the Pro Wireless. I'm thinking of something like the Astro A50's base, probably the older Arctis 7 P, I think it's called. There's a couple of them. I'll try to generate a list in the descriptions below. But as long as it has a DAC, and the DAC has to have a line-in port on the back of it or on the front, on the sides, whatever, as long as it has those two requirements, hypothetically, you should be able to game wirelessly and record gaming audio and video wirelessly without any sort of issues. Because otherwise, if you were to use a wireless headset with a USB transmitter plugged into your console, you'd be able to record footage and video, but your audio would not pick up because in 2022, console manufacturers haven't been able to figure out how to have a console basically send its audio signal to two different ways. And I think that is utterly disappointing. That's my setup. It works flawlessly. I love it. I'm able to grab my wireless headsets of choice. And if I need to go to the kitchen and maybe grab some water, I can while I'm still listening to the audio here. Of course, this has microphones. If I'm logged into something like Discord or Party Chat or what have you, I'm able to continue the conversations, not necessarily having to be tethered to my desk the entire time. I hope you find it helpful. Like and subscribe. Comment down below and let me know if this setup is something that you've already done, if you have something a little bit different, and what works for you to get wireless gaming audio and the ability to capture it while you're recording for YouTube or streaming for Twitch or what have you. Until then, y'all be good to yourselves, be good to one another. Peace out.